Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Fans Dugout. Today, we're here for Rajasthan Royals, Rajasthan Indians. Another exciting matchup today. It's been interesting to watch Rajasthan Royals play the last few games. They did expect a win against RCB, but then sadly, they couldn't win that match. But I'm expecting a comeback from Rajasthan Royals today and hope to see all the superstars back in form. So let's start with Mr. Surinder today. Surinder, sir, what are your expectations from your match today? How are you expecting Rajasthan to perform today?
Perfect. Personally, I think if we pick the same side that I said last time, we would win. But again, very, very positive last time is Lomro. And this is something that I'm thinking that Rajasthani are getting right because these players that are coming in, like Tawatia, we didn't really know much about Tawatia. Tawatia has performed. Lomro has performed. It's what we've got to be careful today. We've got to pick the players in form and we've got to survive the power play without losing any wickets. If we can do those two things and a slight tweak on the bowling, I think we'll be good as gold.
Yeah. Moving on to you, Sanjay. Sanjay, what are your thoughts on today's match? How do you think Rajasthan would go ahead with the match in hand today?
Yeah, as I said, I think we just got to basically make sure that we don't make the same mistakes that we made in the last two games. As long as we do that, yeah, we could do anything. And it's just one of those areas where we've really got to say if we win the toss and we change the batting lineup, we can do the chase. But Mumbai are very dangerous, and even their top order hasn't really hit form. I know De Kock played well in the last game, but their Pollard is the big danger for us. I think he's playing really well, and obviously Hardik can take the game away from us as well, and Krunal as well. So that's where their strength is.
Yeah. So moving on to you, Sahil. Sahil, what are your expectations from Mumbai today? How do you think they'll play this match?
So I think Mumbai is looking pretty much a balanced and well settled side, and that is the way they have been playing over the years. If we see Mumbai and Chennai Super Kings, they always have a settled and a balanced side. They don't believe in changing and chopping. They play like a family, the Pandya brothers and everyone is like a family. So they don't believe in changing and chopping, and the team is looking extremely settled because all the top 6, 7 batsmen have got good hit in the middle, except Surya Kumar Radu, where he's been a bit unlucky, getting out to some great catches or unfortunate runouts and all. So I think overall Mumbai is looking balanced, a very well balanced side, and bowling has come good as well. And I think Rohit Sharma is using Krunal Pandya in the power play overs extremely well.
Yeah.
So that is making a huge difference. And I think even Bumrah is getting into his act, and the great thing about Rohit is like he's persisting with the players. Ideally De Kock should have been dropped, which was not performing in place of Chris Sling, but he still went with the same playing 11. He could have dropped James Pattinson as well. So this is where the team is looking really good, and I think they should win the toss and bat first. I still feel I think probably that's the biggest mistake Virat Kohli made yesterday by winning the toss and fielding first. These pitches, you need to put on a good amount of it's better to defend rather than to chase. So today's match is in Abu Dhabi, but Chennai Super King have been just have chased successfully in Abu Dhabi as well as Dubai. But I still feel they should win the toss. And for Rajasthan, if with time permission or sir, I would like to say something. They should bring in a Yashasvi Jaiswal in place of Robin Uttapa. And Steve Smith should go into the middle order because that will give them a more balanced middle order because they're depending too much on Steve Smith, Sanju Samson, and Josh Butler. So that is the 1-2 changes they should make. That's what
I totally agree. I totally agree with Sahil there. The problem is we've lost in the last two games. We've lost our big three hitters right for the power play, and then what's happened is we've had to rely on the mid order to try and rescue it, and they haven't been firing. So if we can drop Smith to 3, I think that's going to be really, really interesting. So it's going to be we've got to make those changes. We have to make those changes, otherwise it's going to be really
and maybe it's a fast bowler, a Karthik Tyagi or a Varun Aaron for Jaydev Unadkat, but because he's also not looking a bit of a pale shadow of himself, they don't have a good
I totally agree. I think that we need some support for Jofra because Jofra is doing everything at the death himself. So I'm really thinking if we go for Varun Aaron myself, and I personally would drop Ryan Parag, and I would have Manan Vora. So Manan Vora to open, and
that's a great suggestion.
And then Yashashvi at 4 or 5. But again, our batting will change once Ben Stokes comes back, because then we have that extra bowler and the batter. So that's going to be that's really good. But we've got to learn from those mistakes and basically see out the power play and not just maybe lose 1 wicket, not 3 wickets. If we can do that, then I even fancy us in the chase, because we do have the batting. But your upfront bowling is the quality. But the lack of only 1 spinner, I think Jahar's your only spinner, isn't he? So I think that's where we.
But so Krunal Pandya has been bowling well. I think Rohit Sharma is using it well in the power play. So, I think the weakest link which probably MI has are the 2 spinners. But I think they have managed to survive. In alternate matches they're doing well. So I think it's.
To be fair, I forgot about Krunal, but Krunal is pivotal to your spinning, because obviously with the left arm in, and that's the thing. But again, I think with our batting lineup, we could maximise that if we see off Pattison and Bolt, and then Bumrah's been quite expensive until the end, so and he's been coming in after the power play, so that'll be interesting to see what they do.
And Mumbai is missing a 6th bowler, because Hardik Pandya is not bowling. Kieron Pollard probably can attack as well, so that is a weaker link, I guess.
But he bowled well in the last game. Kieron Pollard did. So
he really bowled well.
So I think he's type of player that we need to have the form. He's a form type of player, and that's what he's probably the one player I really fear, because if you do lose the wickets up top, he seems to know how to pace the innings, and then as soon as he flicks the switch, he can hit out the park as well. So he's one of the people I'm really fearing today.
Yep. So. Mr. Surinder, a question to you: what should Rajasthan choose if they win the toss today? Do you think they should bat first, or do you think they should go chase the game?
If they change the batting lineup, as we both said, then to be fair, I would probably want to chase against Mumbai, simply because I think they're batting at the top. If we could take the early wickets and keep them down, that'd be good. Otherwise, I really like Mumbai in a chase. And again, that's where they can have Hardik, because if they don't know what target they're chasing, it could be that. But then the due factor and bowling, it's a really tough one. And I think if we win the toss, I'd rather lose the toss and let them decide what we want to do and then play accordingly. Yeah,
good, interesting thoughts. Sahil, what would your team choose? I mean, what would you want Mumbai to choose? Do you want them to bat first, or do you want them to chase?
So ideally, I think I would like them to bat first. I think, in this IPL, if you're seeing, if you're watching all the matches, hardly teams have chased it. I think only Chennai Super King has done that successfully, and other 1-2 teams. So I think the ideal situation, and this is not Sharjah, where you don't know how much you will get. This is Abu Dhabi, the boundaries are big, and the due. So the due, and nowadays I'm watching that due factor is not coming much into play. And anyways, the balls are being deposited in the stadiums, and it's impossible to retrieve the ball. So you get the new ball. So due factor is out. So ideally, I think they should go with the conservative way of batting first and putting up a huge total. But I would agree with what Sir said, that it's better to lose the toss sometimes and let the opposition decide what to do.
Yeah, and that's a really good point about the ball, because the ball being changed regularly does hinder the due factor, does negate the due factor. However, I think as I said, I really fear, say if we do go with the same team, that we will lose the wickets early on, and then we would struggle against your bowling attack. So that's why I'm saying get either chase and then pace the innings might be better for us. But I can see any score over 185, 190 with your bowling attack. And Mumbai should be able to defend that.
Yeah. So, Mr. Surinder, who do you think would be the most crucial player for your team today? Who do you think has the most important role to play in today's match?
Personally, I think it's got to be Smith. Smith has to, if he comes in at opener, he has to survive 10 overs. Because if he survives 10 overs, then obviously we can set the score. Because our lower order, and I'm not talking the mid order, I'm talking our lower order at Tawatia, Archer, even Lomro. We've got some hitting power there. But where we were lacking were the 2 players, were Robin and Ryan. So if those 2 are changed and we do get that extra opener, then it's going to be very interesting for us, because I think we will then be able to chase. We will even be able to chase if Smith stays in. And obviously with the bowling, it's all on Archer. So that's who we're relying on.
Yeah. And Sahil, who do you think might be the important player for your team today? Who has the most crucial role to play today for Mumbai Indians?
Definitely Rohit Sharma as a captain. If you see this IPL, he's been performing in alternating matches. One match he probably, so this is the match he'll perform, and I'm very excited to watch Surya Kumar Yadav, because I want him to come back to form, because he's been given good starts in cameos, but somehow he's not been able to take it till the end. And if you see the top six of Mumbai, all six have got big scores under the belt. The only person who's missed out so far has been Surya Kumar Yadav. So I'd like to see him firing today. And let's see how Quinton de Kock performs as well, because last time he played well. But was it that one of the match? So Mumbai would like him to perform more regularly. So I think top three players will hold the key. And then the best thing with Mumbai is that number 4, 5, 6, and 7. And, 5 and 6, Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya, they can take the game away from the opposition. So probably the death over bowling is something which I said earlier as well, which Rajasthan should take into account. Because I am not sure about that death bowling attack except Jofra Archer. So I think Mumbai looks all guns blazing. So, but you never know. Cricket is a funny game. Nobody expected Rajasthan Royals to win the first 2 matches in the way. So I think, and even Sanju Samson, if Mumbai gets Sanju Samson early, then there's a match on our hands. And if he keeps on playing along with Smith, then they can chase down any total.
Yeah, that's the main thing for us. I say the main thing for us is to get past that 6th or 7th over, and then take advantage of the spinners, and then tee off. But again, I say I've been really impressed with Mumbai, because when one player doesn't fire, there always seems to be another player that always takes him over the line. Like even the last game when Krunal Pandya hit the 20 runs in the last over, I thought that you knew the game was over.
That was a game-changing moment, because those 20 runs, made a huge difference in the end.
Yeah, and even if you saw like yesterday's match, they really killed it. Delhi really killed it with Stoinis. So there seems to be one batsman that takes the game away. So I'm even thinking, I would really want to make it an exciting match. I want Mumbai to bat first and score about 160, and then it will be a very good match. If Mumbai get 185 or 190, I can't see us defending that score.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just said hoping that Mumbai scores 160, and hoping that your team can manage to hold Mumbai for 160. If you have to do that, who do you think might be crucial to do that? Like who do you think Rajasthan Royals have to get in the first few overs so that they get to stop them, or not letting them score 160 or 180?
It's difficult because, as I said, alternative matches, they seem to be scoring. If Rohit scores one match, then de Kock scores the other match, and then Pollard. So I would say if Archer bowls first and takes 3 wickets, and the wickets of de Kock, Sharma, and maybe Surya Kumar, and puts the middle order in under pressure, then that would be interesting, because what seems to happen is one of the openers does get through the 10 overs. And again, I'm quite surprised that Chris Lynn didn't play the last game, because I think Chris Lynn is something they got in the tank as well. So they might throw a surprise, but I doubt it. Mumbai don't like changing their team, so I don't think they'll make any changes.
So another interesting question. Do you think Rajasthan should, actually take the wickets of the top order and, let the middle order come in? Because the middle order is actually more explosive than the top order of Mumbai that we've seen so far. Like Kieron Pollard in the last few overs has been very expensive. I mean, he's been outstanding in the last few overs. And is that something that Rajasthan would want to use as a tactic, or would they prefer to, put the top order under pressure and, try conceding less runs from them rather than having the middle order come in and, give out more runs?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because you've got to really target what the other team's weaknesses are. And with Mumbai, they have so many different players. It doesn't matter what order they seem to be playing at. So the spinners, I say, it's very important that even with Pattison and Bolt, if we do have one, that's what I say, if we keep our batting order the same and we can see them over without losing the wickets, then Bumrah's been very expensive. He's taken wicket at the back end, but in the first couple of overs that he bowls, he's generally been expensive. And then obviously the weakness is I still think is the spinners. If our batsmen are in, the spinners we can hit. It's not like they're the top quality spinners. However, the same can be said to us because so Gopal hasn't really bowled that well. He bowled well in the last match, and Tewati's bowled okay, but again, it's really Archer and who sports Archer is very important for us. And whether Andrew Ty comes in for Curran, that could be a possible change as well.
Moving on to you, Sahil. Sahil, what do you think your strategy might be? Would getting the top order of Rajasthan be a match winner for you, or do you think they can bat all the way down the line, and they need to get wickets all the way to make sure that they have?
No, I think to get the top order, because top order is too dangerous, because on their day they can take the game away. So I think Mumbai will have the same strategy to get the top order out, and then probably, because then if you see, they don't have a very strong middle order. Okay, so that's why I suggested that probably Smith should come in between. So that will give him some stability in the middle order. But still, if Mumbai get wickets of Butler, Smith, and Sandu Samson early, it's more than over. Because always you cannot expect a Rahul Tewatia to come and hit 5 sixes. Okay, and somewhere I feel like bringing Rahul Tewatia to probably what they can do. I think the biggest difference would be how Rahul Tewatia plays with the spinners. Like Shor said, the weakest link of Mumbai is spinners. So it's extremely necessary that the fast bowlers give them the early breakthroughs. Otherwise, spinners will be under immense pressure. That's why it's very important to dislodge Josh Butler, Sanju Samson, and Steve Smith. If they get them cheaply, then I think match is in Mumbai's hands.
Because then our middle order then have to play a certain way, and that will be against the weaker suit of Mumbai. Because if that's what I say, if we stay in for 6 overs, if we don't lose a wicket in the first 6 overs, then you can expect some fireworks, and then Josh or Sanju or even Smith, they can then tee off against the weaker suit of the thing. I know Bumrah is there, but I say Bumrah has been expensive for the first couple of overs, and the last obviously he comes to the party. But that's when we can take the match away. After from the 6th to the 13th over, that's where we can take the match away from Mumbai if we bat first. And if we bowl first, we take the first 3 wickets quickly with Archer, and then then that will put Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya, and Pollard under pressure. But I say Pollard is the one I really fear because the way he's batting, he's come through a good CPL as well. He seems to be getting his timing right, and that's very dangerous for all the teams, not just Rajasthan Royals.
I think Rajasthan is missing a good quality international spinner. I mean, with due respect to Shreyas Gopal and Rahul Tewatia, they don't have a very good quality, leg spinner. And their fifth bowling is also an issue because sometimes Tom Curran is also going for huge amount of runs. So this is where, and then they will have to depend on a Ryan Parag and all. So that is where I think that's the biggest issue with Rajasthan Royals.
Well, that's what I said if Tom Curran doesn't play, then you've got to try Andrew Ty. Because in those conditions, he's got the knuckleball, he's got the slow ball, and he's got the variation. He might be a very good threat. And obviously, when Ben Stokes comes back, we have the 4 overs.
Yeah, then it's I think when Ben Stokes comes back, I think Andrew Ty will get a rope in because Tom Curran bats as well. I think he scored a 50 against KKR as well. So I don't think so. Tom Curran will be replaced today. I think once Ben Stokes comes in, you may see an Andrew Ty in place of Tom Curran. That's what I feel.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be.
I say.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's one of those when you've got to really think of the strategy, and I say Ben Stokes adds the balance because then he can even bat at 5, and then even if we do lose a couple of the wickets early on, we've still got Ben Stokes who can play himself in and then tee off. And I think he's for our makeup of our team, I know he hasn't performed greatly for thinking, but he's now a different player, and it's just that confidence and aura that he brings to the team, which is going to be superb.
Yep, it'll be interesting to watch Ben Stokes into the team. I mean, he's really an amazing player, and it would be interesting to see how Rajasthan play when Ben Stokes is in the team. So definitely looking forward to that. But One final question. Who would? Okay, let's go with Mr. Surinder first. Mr. Surinder, who would be your man of the match for today? Who do you predict would be the man of the match for today's match?
I'm going to go for Archer. Yeah, I'm going to go for Archer. I think Archer, if he can take the wickets, if they bat first and he takes the 3 wickets, as we said,
Yep.
then that'd be good. And if hopefully Smith does make those changes, takes Parag out, takes Robin out,
Yep.
and also changes one bowler, maybe Kartik Tyagi or Varun Aaron, then I think we've got the strength maybe to win this match.
And moving on to you, Sahil, who do you think would be the man of the match according to you today?
I'll pick 3 impact players rather.
Yep.
I'll pick Kieron Pollard, Rohit Sharma, and Jasprit Bumrah. I think these 3 are the backbones of Mumbai, because I think Bumrah sometimes, I think in the last match, he bowled well in the first 2 overs, but then again he went for runs in the last 3 overs. So I feel he will be back to his best, and we need him for Team India as well. And Rohit Sharma and Kieron Pollard, I think these 2 are the backbones of MI batting. So either of the 2 should be the man of the match, hopefully. But you never know. Whenever you predict, it goes completely otherwise. So you never know, because Mumbai is
it's a very important match. Yeah,
Yeah.
for us, this is a seriously important match. With RCB losing yesterday and their net run rate being hammered, if we can win today, it will just give us that confidence. And obviously, Ben will be back on Sunday. So if we can get, I said 8 points. If we can get to 8 points before Ben Stokes comes back, then a qualification is in our hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really important match, and it's an interesting match as well, as both the matches have they're on a tie on the head-to-head rating.
Yep.
So it's interesting to see who comes out on top today, and it'll be an interesting match. Both the teams have got really good firepower, and it'll be quite an interesting matchup.
I always believe the team which bowls well will win ultimately in a T20 format. Even if you score 200 runs but you don't bowl well, it can be chased. So team which bowls well will ultimately win.
Yes,
and that's 100% correct. It's basically a matchup of the bowlers, and that's why I think Mumbai, if we don't bring Varun Aaron in, Mumbai definitely has the advantage.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to this one. It's been great so far, and it's been great talking to you and having this discussion about today's match. I would like to thank you so much for joining in today. Sanchit did say that he won't be able to join because of his internet issues, so that's all right. But I guess Mr. Surinder did represent him on behalf of Sanchit, so it's good to have you. So
come on, guys, come on, we can do it. Hello, ball.
Let's hope for an entertaining match, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Nitin.
Bye, Sahil.
Thanks, Surinder. Take care. Bye.